Oh, the intro.
Ooh.
We are the 4 out of 5 guys.
I like that.
Okay, I'm Joseph. Thank you very much for that, Adrian.
No worries.
I'm Joseph.
Well, you pretty much said my name, so.
Why
I'm
you looking at me
Adrian.
for? I don't care.
I'm your co-host, John.
And I'm your co-host, Nathan.
Together we are...
Janathan.
That's it. I don't want to say it, but you know.
Oh, wait, hold on. What are you talking to me? I just realised.
I like that.
Jonathan
Jonathan.
instead of Janathan.
No, it's Jonas.
Yeah, Jonas.
Jonas.
Jonathan.
No, it's Jonas.
Anyway.
Religion. Okay,
Yes.
I'm going to kick it off with a question for us all. Why was religion created?
Or was it created?
It's a way to control
Civilization.
civilization.
Was
I mean-
religion created or discovered?
That,
Created.
That depends on like who you are in it.
Created,
I am I'm not going to say devout because I know what I do on the weekends. I'm Christian. I definitely think God is real and all that.
Hey, wait, one sec.
But
I couldn't quite hear you. What did you just say?
I'm Christian. God fucking damn it. I wouldn't say I'm the best Christian. I think my views are a little bit different. You know, I'm not homophobic. But
Oh, yeah. They're very homophobic, you know.
No,
Yeah,
but I don't
that's why I'm not
think
Catholic.
strictly following a religion makes you more or less.
Oh, no.
no, being a dick makes you more or less homophobic.
No. As in.
Yeah, inclined to be like.
Yeah, but certain parts of the Bible could be
It's how,
interpreted.
it's how people interpret it
Mm.
because it's open to interpretation. But you know, like I'm not the best Christian, but I do definitely think that I mean, I'm also someone who does a lot of science shit. So science and religion, I kind of mixed them together. Like,
Yeah.
still not like completely like sure on the origins of the universe and that shit. Don't care pretty much. Adam and Eve were real, and they did bang a lot.
Did actually? Is that,
As far as I'm concerned.
what actually real? Not.
Did they actually bang? Yes. Were they real? You know, I believe so. I do also think the Bible's got a lot of symbolism in it. So interpret it as you will. And also, don't be a dick to people on Twitter about it. Because I see too much of that shit.
No, for being Christian or Bible readings.
Dude, I'm not going to lie
That's
to
the
you.
same thing.
Christians like to fight themselves a lot, as well as other people.
Fair enough.
Really, like, annoying, like, conservative, like, mega Catholics.
Pagans. No.
What?
That's
Say
a whole different thing.
Protestants.
Puritans.
Puritans. Oh, yeah. Some of that as well. I don't think that's really a thing anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Is
That's
it
where you have
Puritans?
It's cold in here now.
Never mind. Oh, it's warm. I like it. Not warm, but adequate.
Anyways,
What religion are you,
next
John?
religion.
I'm sort of stuck on the fence post. I don't really sway one way.
Fair enough.
Also, my big thing is that I can't really believe that, for example, Noah was 600 years old.
Was he actually?
Yeah,
According to who?
according to the Bible.
Yeah, like
Was
he
he?
is of how he.
And that's how, like, I'm sort of
there's
thinking,
old
you
and
can't
old
be
and.
600
Hey, listen,
years
look,
old.
mate. You didn't read into it right.
Symbolism.
Let me. It's
600
not
years
symbolism.
of, like, lunar
Basically, he went. No. There's this whole stage in the Bible where God was just like letting people live for a really long time. I think the longest was like some dude whose name begins with an M. I haven't read the Bible properly in a while. He lived for like 965 years, and then God said, "I'm not going to keep giving you fuckers life. Your limit's 120."
Mad.
Yep. There was just a point where he said, "I'm done with it. You know, I've got better things to be doing, like making dolphins or something."
Surely it would be better to let people live longer, because then that means less people are going to heaven.
No, that means.
What do you
more
mean less people going to heaven?
As in, because they're living longer.
Why would you want less people to go to heaven?
I'm not saying
And
less people going to heaven, but it takes longer for people to go to heaven, so God can
As
sort out
soon
his
as-
own shit.
As soon as the
I'm
first
like, you
people
know.
start dying, you've already got a constant stream of people dying.
Mm.
It's just going to be
Yeah, it's just
related to population rather than
yeah.
like how long
It's
you live.
also because in the Bible, it was the whole concept of he said he stopped breathing new life into people. So it's like there was already a limit, and he would just add some extra.
And
Fair enough.
but actually, when I asked that question, I was talking more about Like, do you think that religion was created like by
No,
maybe
I think some religions, certain people just
Take it too
No,
far.
but like,
no, they just made it up.
were they created as a? Why were they created? Were they created as a way to control like
Yep.
Yeah.
a mass of
It's
people?
just
Yes.
conspiracy. I mean, that depends on what you're talking about. Because I mean, the official definition of religion is a set of rules to live by. So for like Christians, technically, the actual religion would be like the like 10 commandments and other commandments in the Bible. But how you live your life according to the Bible isn't the same as being a Christian. Because I know plenty of people that live their life in a way that the Bible would say is good, but they're not Christians, and vice versa. I know a lot of Christians that say they're Christians, but the stuff they be doing isn't Christ-like.
I just say like religion's just basically the law.
I just burped went through my nose, bro. I almost died.
You what?
Burped through his nose.
I burped through my nose.
It was not. It was. I heard the little bubble. Bro.
Yeah.
To me, like I was brought up as a Muslim, yeah, and like many people wouldn't believe me, and they haven't believed me to this day, because like people think like a Muslim has to be from like the Asian region, yeah, because there's not a lot of white Muslims out there, but
I've seen a ginger Muslim before, and he was white.
That was a statement.
anyway,
I
so
know
yeah,
a ginger that's growing up as a Muslim, and she's white.
fair enough. Who?
Just sharing ginger stories.
Oh yeah, ginger. Wait, and is it? Does this come under religion? Like the whole ginger people being like evil and shit.
No.
Oh, gingers have no souls.
Mm.
No,
Oh, that's Nazis.
No, no,
I was
no,
gonna say I made that up for a
actually, never
hashtag,
mind.
but
No, like
That's just
Aryan race took out the.
no, no.
that came up in like fucking like Victorian times and shit. You know where they like were just finding reasons to send people to hell. Like they would just be like, you know what, I think you've committed a sin. Like back in like Salem witch trials, they were like, I saw Sister Agnes at the Devil's Sacrament, which doesn't make sense to me because what the fuck were you doing at
She's
the
got
Devil's
the
Sacrament?
devil's hair.
Where it's like, there was a point in time where they were just like, we're better Christians than you, so we're finding reasons to send you to hell and or kill you. But that is based on like where the whole like thing about hell came from. Because in the Bible itself, hell was the whole thing about hell was just disconnect from God. But then at some point in like history,
they
Dante
made
wrote like the seven circles of hell, is it?
But there's that like painting that we
Yeah,
learn
and then-
about. That's
Yeah,
like
the
fucking-
ladder and shit.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then like the Catholic Church just went, "Ooh, this is a really cool like fan fiction Dante
very
made."
That's
We're
the
putting
thing
in
that
the
bugs
Bible.
me about
it's a
religion.
very good deterrent, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing that bugs me about religion, because someone could come along like Dante. Like, who the fuck was
Dante
Dante
wasn't
before?
he wasn't even a Christian. He just wrote
Exactly.
he wrote the book, and then then the Pope at some point.
As
like,
long as
way
you
back
can
when,
get people
looked
to
at it.
believe in it, then it's calm. Religion's just become a thing where it's like, yeah, hell, that can be this place, Dante's Inferno
Yeah,
shit.
but I mean, it depends on what you yourself believe. Because
believe
I'm
in
a Christian
anything.
who doesn't believe in the exact same things as every other Christian. Like, I don't. Okay, Bible says hell is like fire and brimstone. I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of that is symbolism. I think that's like just the apocalypse in general.
Mm.
I think the real concept of hell would be a disconnect from God, because the whole point of human beings on the planet was to worship God according to the Bible. So I also think is a bit, but we're not going to go into that because I think my sisters listen to this podcast, and I don't want to talk to my mum about this.
See, I don't know, mate, because like me and religion, we don't get along. 'Cause like I said, I was brought
You
up.
said he was Muslim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
he was
brought up
brought up
as a Muslim. And like I used to do some of the Muslims things like praying and shit, but not
You sound like you got an extensive knowledge on this
not praying like 5 times a
Praying
day.
and
I'd
shit.
say like this prayer
It's-
before I go to
It's
sleep.
3 times a day, anyways.
It's not 3 times
Five
a day.
times a day.
it's 3
5
times
times a
because
day.
they
It's 5 times.
no, it's supposed to be 5 times, but for convenience it's 3 times. They
For
agree-
Koreans.
But
For
he said for
convenience.
convenience.
Oh,
But John,
convenience.
what you're saying still,
So
the
what?
Koreans got their yeah, bro.
Kim Jong Un be praying 5 times.
Kim Jong Un was like, bro, you better change this. I ain't got time for you to pray to me 5 times, bro. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's get this shit wrapped, okay?
But it's like I used to like say this prayer before I go to sleep and like celebrated Eid and stuff. but I never like had this
You never
moment
got
where it's
into
like,
it.
yeah. So I've never had this moment where it's like, yeah, God exists, because it's like I used to think by saying the prayer, God is making me tired and I'm going to sleep. But then I'd realize
I
that
think you were just
We're
dumb.
just talking to God.
I think you were
Rather than
just
get him
dumb.
just for you asleep.
You know,
that's the
what I
thing,
think?
though.
I think you were seeing sparkly things, my friend.
No, no, no,
I,
no, 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 no.
I think he was just dumb. I'm
No,
not gonna
no,
lie
no,
to you,
no, 'cause
because
then
I
I'd-
don't think in the prayer at any point it was, Allah, please make me tired.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
he
no,
was
no.
just like, oh, it's a bedtime prayer.
No,
Like,
yeah, a bedtime prayer, and I think like, do you know what?
Oh,
It's making
yeah,
me
like-
tired.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, bless the bed that I lay on. Ooh.
I'm
I'm not
not.
gonna
I did not
continue.
go to
So
a
making
Catholic.
4 grown men bless the bed that you're on.
Yeah, fuck
It's
me.
the
what the
Gospels,
fuck?
baby.
Yeah.
Bless the 4 men.
disciples.
What?
Also, I
They're
don't.
not pervs, bro. Allow it. Like, they're
What?
nice guys.
Don't talk
probably.
about 4 men. We're 4 men
Yeah, we're
in
four
one
men.
room.
I'm
okay?
telling
One
you,
room.
like, not to offend anyone, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I think religion is just one big hoax. But then again,
How could it be one big hoax if everyone's doing different stuff though?
I smell marijuana.
Oh, I have so much editing to do for this one, don't I?
but like at the same time, I'm staying in the
Fucking
middle, because
strong
like
guy.
no one really knows what happens when you die. Yeah, like someone can say you go to heaven if you're good, you go to hell if you're bad. But I ain't gonna believe you, because you haven't died. Like, how the fuck do you know?
I mean,
See, that's-
it's literally
yeah.
all about faith.
Yeah,
that's the
That's
point of
why
religion.
for me,
That's the
I
thing.
don't think of it as
I'm
religion.
staying in the middle.
People talk about religion. Religion itself is the set of rules. For me, it's based on my faith
Mm.
in whether or not God exists. And even then, I'm not gonna lie to you. I said this to like in private, but I don't think I've ever said this out on the podcast or anything. I think God exists. I just think he's a dick sometimes.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
no,
sense
no, I
that,
agree.
like, a lot of people, like, I mean, people get mad and be like, oh, like, if God exists, why did my dad die or some shit like that? It's like,
Mm.
because that's not his fucking job. Your dad was meant to die.
Mm.
Suck it up. But,
See,
but like, I just think it's a bit. I don't think it would. To an extent, I think there's like a grand plan,
Mm.
right, that we're not like privy to.
Mm.
But I don't think it's something like everything on a day-to-day basis is like God's doing everything and he's pulling the strings behind you. Because if so, then everyone would
That's
be
a lot of
yeah.
multitasking.
That's he could do it, but I don't see why he would.
yeah,
He
but
put us out here and he was just like, do whatever the fuck you want because he could.
I don't know. Like, the main thing with me, the main thing that I question myself is like, technically everyone's immortal. Yeah. So like, once you die, your soul goes to live with God or in heaven and shit. Yeah. So you live on immortality technically.
The soul.
You're
and
still
everything.
fucking dead, bro.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah, no, no, I
can't-
get you.
mortality
But-
is to do with your body itself, mate. You're dead.
Fair enough.
Your soul is.
But that's the thing.
Kicking it.
Like, once you die, like, I'm asking you, like, once you die, are you conscious about like being in heaven?
What I believe personally, or what Christians believe in general,
Both.
because I think for Christians, it's the whole like your soul is very conscious of what's happening and everything.
Cool.
And then, I mean, isn't it for Muslims that your body itself is also resurrected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
I mean,
judgment.
for me personally, I think the soul is definitely a real thing, and like it's like
But that's the thing,
immortality
though.
and shit. But I also think because there's the disconnect from the body itself, the ages and
Mm.
shit like that, then it doesn't really matter. But to me, when I think about hell, I don't think about like eternal damnation and
Mm.
judgment. I think like the rapture could happen at some point.
Yeah.
And after that, if you're not on the right, not like if you're not on the right side, but you're not on the side that God wants you to
Mm.
be, you're no longer with him because he said you're done with it. And to a lot of people, I can understand why that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. Even to me, sometimes I'm like, this is a bit weird. But the way I look at it isn't just that like God's a really, really cool guy and
Mm.
you should definitely be on his side all the time. And if you're not on his side, you're a shitty person. I look at it as like, it's kind of like a scientist who's trying to make AI just because they can.
Mm.
And like after that, they're out in the world and you have to kind of figure out what to do on your own.
Yeah.
And whether or not you're a good or bad person is up to you. I don't think it's like no one is born evil or anything. No one's born good. It's up to you and what you do on a daily basis or what you,
People around you.
like how you live your life
That's the thing.
affects the person you are. And the person you are in a sense, is like that is. I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to death, that's the point where I always kind of. It's always been like a bit of a shit thing for me because a lot of people in my life have died, and I've been like, I wouldn't know if he was going to heaven or hell, but I also don't care because it's not up to me.
See, I don't know, mate.
Myself.
Because, like, to me, it seems like if you're gonna spend eternity with God, after you die, then at some point, surely it just gets boring. Because, like, living forever, it may sound good,
Yeah.
and you're living with this man who gave you life and shit, and now you're in this really good place. Have you seen The Good Place?
Yeah, that I was going to talk because
Last
that
episode.
where it's like they
Yeah.
had the option to just move on and
Yeah.
no one knew what else was happening.
That's
But in a
it.
sense, for them moving on because they didn't know if you were alive when you moved on. In a sense, that at that last episode, it's the same thing that we have now, where it's like we don't know what's going to happen at the end.
Wait,
But-
is The Good Place the one with the white-haired guy?
Yeah.
And the
God.
yeah.
Right. But it's like for me, like I have my faith and I have my belief, and I think to a certain extent, stuff in the Bible is stuff in the Bible is correct, stuff in the Bible isn't, because even though like the Bible is like meant to be from God, it was also written by a bunch of people who it was transferred to them and then they rewrote it. Because it's like it's like a fucking game of telephone. If I tell John like, Adrian likes dicks, at the end of it, it's gonna end up as Adrian has thick lips or something like that.
It's like
Or-
Chinese whisper.
Yeah, like certain things are getting modeled in the transcription. Like fucking, I don't think it makes sense for people to be like out there like preaching every single thing they read in the Bible or anything like that. Because there's points in the Bible where they say you can't wear clothes made of more than one like linen. That doesn't make sense. I'm wearing cotton and polyester at the same time. Am I a sinner? No, because that's stupid. Some guy wrote it in there. And there's stuff like, women be submissive to your man. That didn't make sense to me from day one.
Yeah, nah.
And that's where like I had my split with religion versus faith. I believe in God. I don't believe in everything that is written in that book.
That's a bar. I believe in God, but don't follow a religion.
Yeah, fair enough, innit?
Also,
Right,
I had a theory, right? That what if what if the idea of a god or like one supreme being has just been throughout time? Because if you think about it, if there was no like religion, I'll probably still think maybe there's something out there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, so what if as that constant idea should be going through humanity, it's manifest itself in different like religions?
What I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's like how you have like the Abrahamic religion. So like there's similarities between Judaism,
Islam
and Christianity. But then again, like such fucking idiots, honestly. How do we even record this? It's like
It's God's will.
no matter as much as we know about science, right? We don't know enough for us to make you can't make a confirmation right now and say we know everything about the universe, and that's the point where it gets me, because not just not knowing, but if there's stuff that we literally can't explain, it must have
She's
been
God.
something. Like it's not just like an excuse though, but it's kind of like fucking we don't understand 90% of our
Slots in.
universe. Like and there's so much like similarities between shit. It's like brain cells look like the universe and like stuff like that. It's like I'm not talking about like exactly like everything's interconnected and shit. I just think I don't know about grand design or something like that where people are like everything was planned out specifically.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
think if someone had the power to fuck around and find out, they would fuck around and find out.
I don't know, because like I'm the type of guy who tends to question shit. Like the whole thing with death, I've gotten to a point where like I still do question it sometimes. It's like what's gonna happen? Like,
Curiosity,
yeah, everyone does. But I've gotten to a point where there's this scene in like Lord of the Rings or like The Hobbit. No. And like I don't know. I think it's Gandalf, and he's like he says this one thing that like I genuinely believe, and he says like death is just another adventure. Like
That's a nice way to put it.
yeah, because like no one knows what's gonna happen or anything, and it's like, do you know what?
What are you talking to me?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
With the white babe.
I haven't watched The Hobbit. I don't know who Gandalf is.
Gandalf's the
You said it's the big white man.
yeah.
I swear
don't-
down
in
he's
white.
Dumbledore in the later.
No,
Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
he is. Same guy plays him, I
Yeah.
think.
No, he doesn't.
I swear.
Swear down.
Dumbledore isn't Ian McKellen.
Who is he then?
It's not Ian McKellen. I don't know who it is, but it's not Ian McKellen.
Anyway, like,
I mean,
No
I'm also gonna
way.
say, right, though, like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and shit. Those are also just people making fantasy novels, which are also just like fan fictions about the Bible. Same
Mate,
with like
all
Game
I'm
of
saying
Thrones.
is-
it's just really old men who were making fan fiction on the Bible.
that's the one thing I live by, and that's when my time comes, I'm seeing that shit as another adventure. Wherever it takes me, whatever fucking time period or world it takes me, I don't care.
Yeah, it's
Well, I'm gonna
it's just
embrace it.
moving on, like
Pretty
yeah.
much.
'Cause
Like,
I don't think, because for us, I feel like we're not necessarily like I would definitely still say I'm a Christian because I believe a lot of
Mm.
stuff in the Bible, but because I have different views, I know that if I was having the same conversation with people from my church, it wouldn't go like
that's the thing.
because it's so subjective for everyone.
Mm.
Because you can't, I mean,
Open to
yeah,
interpretation.
you can't brainwash people in a sense unless you're in a cult,
Mm.
and you know that's you shouldn't be in a cult. I feel like low-key, we could start a cult very easily.
For a Five Guys cult.
No, we can't use our names. For
5
tax
out of 4
purposes.
guys.
Let's just call us. Yeah.
But I also feel like you guys, we're the type of people that would get taken into a cult.
Fair enough.
Like, so you'd get taken in because of drugs. You'd get taken in because you're dumb. You'd get taken in because you're dumb. I
I'm
would
tall.
be leading the cult.
Nah, mate, I'd get taken in because I'm tall.
You're not that tall in comparison to being like.
I don't care. I
like-
don't care.
Like specifically tall. You're just a bit tall.
I'm taller than you, man. So
I know, but
By-
we're not
by
very
like
tall.
fucking 4 inches. Like, okay.
And we're
Wait,
good
what's
type.
that got to do with cults?
I don't know.
He thinks
You're
being
just
tall would take
labeling
him into a
like
cult.
stuff.
I said you
Bro,
get into a
there's
cult because you're
bare
dumb.
slender men in cults. Like,
Yeah.
you see the big guys with the hats.
Yeah.
You know the ones that don't have to wear the pointy hat
The
because
hat.
their head's already up
I
there.
think
so
this
they
is the
just wear
KKK.
flat
Yeah, do you know
I
what?
think you're describing the KKK.
Oh,
Which is
man.
also
Bare
technically a
cults
cult.
have that. Yeah,
Black Klansman,
cults have
great
It's,
fucking film. I loved it. I loved it.
Animosity.
Hmm?
No, anonymity.
Anonymity.
yourself-
Anonymity.
Keeping yourself anonymous.
You don't want the
you wear
people.
hoods.
You don't want the people who are in the cult to realize that you're definitely killing them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they're wearing the hoods. They're like, look, if someone survives drinking the poison Kool-Aid, they shouldn't see our faces just
Yeah.
legally.
Also, back to religion.
This is a religion. What do you have against cults?
I mean,
Cults are shit. versions
I
of
have not
religion.
heard a cult that went well.
No one has.
Fandoms, K-pop.
K-pop is not going well, bro. That shit.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, it has, bro. Anyways, stream
Anyways,
Luna.
As I was saying, right, I don't trust most religions because I don't see how you can. I can be open to interpretation that like someone's better than someone,
Mm.
or like men are more important than females, or
Oh yeah, no, that's fucked.
or like
I don't think
men
that's
should be
even
killing
religion.
animals. Like I think it's just about being a good person and living your life to the fullest without taking away from other people.
Fair enough.
That's my philosophy.
Spoken like a true liberal.
Thing is,
Thank you.
like,
I actually did a fucking political bias test this morning.
ultimately, bad and good is just a concept that humanity
It
basically
really
made.
is.
as well.
It really is.
Because, like, what may seem good to me could seem bad to you. So that's what. No,
I
that's the
know
thing.
For certain things, it depends. But I think there's some very definite things like killing a person.
You say that, but you never know ultimately. Because, like, we've said if you kill someone, it's bad because of our emotional ties to one another.
No, that's not why
no,
killing someone's bad.
And, like, you're killing someone.
You're taking
You
away.
said it's kind of bad for you to kill someone
that's theirs,
because I
it's
like
theft
him.
of their life.
But like, who's to say that it's bad to kill someone who's gonna kill others? Like, what?
John, to quote Batman, if you kill a killer, the number of killers in the world stays the same. But then again, to quote Red Hood, kill 100 and there's only like one left.
Still, like, in the end, no one really knows. Who knows? Killing someone could be the good thing. Like, we could be taking them to fucking heaven instantly, one-way ticket.
No,
But you don't
76
know.
Virgins.
He doesn't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Ooh,
well,
no, I'm
don't
gonna
fucking
say
try it out. on
I
me,
ain't gonna
bro.
try it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
that's the thing.
I'm gonna say though, like
That's the
before we
thing,
continue,
like-
as a Christian, The Crusades was scuffed.
That's the thing. I'm not saying we should all start killing each other and shit, because, like,
It's probably going
mean-
to cause issues.
yeah.
Is it?
But at the same time,
Who's gonna cause issues for? They're dead.
my main point is just like
Family.
bad and good is just a concept that
Kill them as
humanity
well.
made. Like no one really knows
Hey.
what's good and bad, and no one really will. So
No,
That's because there's not such a thing as good and bad. It's
I mean,
all,
well,
it's all your
perception.
own.
it's
yeah, it's all your
I mean,
own
Then again, it's
morals.
like moral philosophy. And it's like you can boil it all down to like, oh, in like a game where nothing matters, why would you choose to do this thing instead of this thing? Because doing one of them makes my tummy hurt. That's the equivalent of good or bad for your
what
head.
kind of game are you playing that makes
I'm
your
saying
tummy
like,
hurt?
it's like if you didn't know that like killing someone was bad, like you're fresh on the planet. Inherently, when you would kill a person, it wouldn't make you feel good because that's how our brains work.
What
It's
about
Sympathy, innit?
no?
Yeah,
What
empathy.
about those people? Let's. I don't really want to go down this route, but like
What,
Nazis,
sociopath?
yeah. I know. I did say, but it's like Nazis were brought up. They were brainwashed to believe that. You know what? What are you talking about? Like,
How are Nazis brainwashed?
listen, because
The
they're
Hitler
taught.
Youth.
They're taught that Jews were
point.
bad. Aryan race is the supreme race. Yeah. So
I'm taking that
they
out of
were
context.
basically brought up to hate Jews.
I think they were
I
influenced
don't
by
think that they
like
were-
false media, but they
Influence is
weren't.
the same as brainwashing.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you
I
do it
think
to
that
it,
they're
if you
like-
do it enough.
They were forced.
They were forced.
No.
Like,
no.
say, like,
for some
if-
people, at the end of the day, they ended up believing it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
So
that's
can you
how
really
it's like,
blame them?
There's people now
delusion.
like they like you can because you're saying force, but like if you're being forced to do something, there's a point where you can like resist.
Mm.
No,
If you-
it's not. If like
What?
say they're
Yeah.
gonna,
Hold on,
oh,
hold on,
I
hold on,
will
hold on.
kill your mum, your wife, your
And
daughter,
you.
your sister, you, your whole family. I'm gonna do what they say.
Yeah,
But
I'm
that's
gonna
still-
fuck with that,
no,
like,
no,
what?
no, no,
That's
no,
not-
no,
I know,
no,
but that's
no,
not what the
no,
Nazis were doing. Because
no.
if you think about it, the Hitler Youth wasn't look like we're gonna kill everyone if you don't
No, but
become a Nazi.
for the like
But that's
adult population that actually got them there in the first
yeah, but
place.
if you have years of a leader telling you like this is the right thing,
You're gonna believe it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's basically what religion is. It's people, someone telling you do this, don't do that, and you basically believe it.
that's why I was saying like because religion is just a set of rules.
Mm.
You should base it on faith, which is why for me it's very different.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, mate.
So,
Religion's an iffy one.
At
Believe
the end
whatever
of
you
this
want.
one,
Any
religion is the same
conclusions?
as being a Nazi. That's
Mm.
what Adrian
No,
says.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just
Okay.
saying religion's a bit of an iffy topic.
Okay,
Yeah.
We should kill everyone. It would solve problems.
No,
Mm.
no,
In
no.
a game where
No,
you
fuck off.
don't know the real options, why do you still do the bad thing?
Oh my god.
Because doing the
If we
bad
had more
thing
time.
makes you feel bad.
Mate, if
Okay,
people want to understand my point of view more in depth, just
Just
text
DM
me.
him the words.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
No. Just
Thank you for listening.
Jesus
to the
Christ.
4
Wait,
out of 5 guys.
I'm closing comments.
Closing comment. Closing comment.
remark.
Don't think that you need to be put into religion. You just
Mm.
follow
Yeah,
word.
your own faith.
Do your thing.
And
Follow what you
also-
believe.
being part of a religion isn't always following every rule that religion sets. You
Yeah,
can
like
pick and
some
choose.
great
exactly.
You should-
things,
like
like marriage.
you're not being controlled.
Yeah.
I controller.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with both of you.
And also, careful if Nathan tries to recruit you for a cult in the next few years. Just like
wouldn't-
stay the
that's
fuck
the
away.
thing, though. I would be so good at it, they wouldn't even know it.
What, that you're recruiting them?
Yeah, bro, they'd already be in it.
Yeah. 'cause
It'd be 2 years later. They'd be like, "Wait, hold on, why am I
Yo.
handing out flyers?" Like, be like, "Wait a minute."
Oh shit.
Or
Thank
just-
you for listening, guys.
Yeah,
I've
join
been
our
your
cult.
co-host, John.
I've been your main host, Joseph.
No, we're all main host, Joe.
You said
Yeah,
co-host.
yeah.
You said main host.
I've
Adrian?
been the lost guy, Adrian.
And I'm everybody's goddamn boss.
Nathan. I smell marijuana.
I smell marijuana.